Good morning. It is a very, very early. It's 3 o'clock. So today is my birthday. It's Thursday, and I am getting ready to go on my trip. So I think I mentioned, and I closed out the video yesterday, that my train, I'm taking the Amtrak to meet my friend in Wilmington, Delaware, and my train leaves at 5:15 in the morning. So I'm trying to get to Penn Station with like enough time so that I'm not rushed, but also not too much time that I have to worry about getting stabbed. I think I decided that I will be taking the Uber. By that I mean Lyft. I don't take Ubers. So I'll kind of take you along with me, I guess. You won't see anything because it's like very much dark outside. Grabbing out a new eyeliner. I think I'm going to try this Luna liner. This was from BoxyCharm. I have to grab a mascara, so is this one water resistant? If this one's water resistant, I'll probably go for this one. I'll just go for this one because I think I recall it being told that it was, by told I mean somebody on YouTube reviewed it as it being somewhat water resistant. So I'll go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara. I can't believe I'm almost done with that highlighter. I hit pan too on 2 of the shades, so I think I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, everything else in here is not a highlighter, so I guess it might be time for BoxyCharm to send a highlighter. This is the Glowdient Makeup Palette from Touch in Soul. Back, so I'm going to try this Luna liner. It's water resistant. I do remember swatching it and it being pretty water resistant, if I'm remembering correctly. It's PETA certified, cruelty-free, vegan, no gluten, no parabens, made with kale and ginkgo and ginkgo biloba extracts. So this is what it looks like here. So, oh yes, I for sure used it because I had opened it like this. It is a felt tip, so we'll see how I like it. Okay, it was a little bit stiff, so, I mean, it's definitely on there, but it's a little bit stiff, so it's not quite as smooth as I usually like gliding, but that's probably just because this is a felt tip and I usually like brush, but that's a personal preference. There's also, like, no ball in here. Okay, so got it out. The reason why I chose this one was because it was in the grab bag. What grab bag? Black Friday grab bag. So usually when things go in those sort of grab bags, they've been in the warehouse for a while, at least in my experience. And this is all my opinion. I don't know actually anything about the inner workings, so we'll see what this looks like here. It is a metal tube, so it is quite heavy, and that is what the wand looks like. I'll be the judge of whether or not it's waterproof because we are going to be outside a lot today, hopefully. Okay, so that mascara is pretty subtle actually. Actually, the real weight is in the wand, not the other tube side. But I would say that I like having a weighted wand. It's a little bit easier to maneuver and have a little control over. I guess this is happy birthday to me. I'm trying out a bunch of new stuff and I love trying out new stuff. So I got this in a BoxyCharm and I can't get it open. So this is what it looks like here. So when I got it originally, I was like, maybe I'll never use it because highlighter takes so long to go through, but it actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. But this is what it looks like here. So there are multiple shades. So I'm gonna just use kind of like the middle 2 here. Okay, so that went on really smoothly, and it doesn't look too patchy in my opinion, but yeah, so far so good with that, and so far so good with the other 2 products I just grabbed out. So let me just pull up all of the last minute packing things and put them in my suitcase. So I need to take some medicine, including allergy meds, because we're gonna be outside. And gotta find my Lactaid pills for my friend and me, so I'm gonna put those into my purse. So anyway, I'll take you along with me. Kind of excited actually. I've been really looking forward to this and it's been really nice so far in this like however long it's been since I got home. 8 p.m. until 3 a.m. not having my work phone hanging over me, so I will talk to you later. Made it to Wilmington. It's a very stormy day. Do you think they're open? It says they're open. Live at sea. I can't believe these are so accurately smelled. Going to lunch. Barbecue bacon burger. This is the dry aged burger. Pretzel tour. We're at Hammond's Pretzel Factory. Keep 24 pretzels apart. That is the parlor car. This is the car we're going to be riding, number 118. The watermelon lime spritzer, and that's a birch beer, which is basically root beer. That's the info.
We are very open and very safe for errands, so we must ask your cooperation following some basic rules. Way under 69.
The side there is all smoke. Farmland. The right side was the best side for at least the outward journey.
1952. We still follow that same basic schedule today, so I can tell you that we're traveling at a comfortable speed that's under 60 miles per hour.
Little, old, and slow. The railroad was abandoned in 1918.
This is the Cherry Hill Farm.
Weighs 175 tons and originally ran on the Norfolk and Western Railroad.
This was our train car, but it's kind of both of our names. Too Good to Go pickup. This was the Too Good to Go, $4.99 for 6 donuts. So the left one is the white chocolate potato chip, the middle is the pastelito, and the right one is the churro. And I was able to choose which ones I wanted at the end of the day. Dinner, we're going to Chubby Cattle. Fun story, 3 years ago I got invited to come here for their grand opening for dinner, but I didn't go because I was in New York. Tomato broth with oxtail. What? I got it. Do you want any of the other mushrooms? Okay. That was just regular. I think these are the woodier ones, right? Oh, is it oyster mushroom? I thought it was woodier. Dang it. We got enoki mushroom, the vegetable mix, which is just greens, the fresh handmade noodle, fried tofu skin, and lotus root. We also grabbed the taro nut. Okay, so this is room 326. At the club quarters in Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia. So this is just a 1 queen bed. So let me show you. So it has a little bit of a chair here, so high. And then this is the bed. So it looks kind of like a double actually, so I don't know. But here is the remote. Night table. See what the view is like. So the view is to the Nordstrom rack. There is a desk and a coffee maker. Ignore all of that stuff there. Had to put my stuff somewhere. The desk is actually pretty big, so I think there's actually a fridge. Yes, so I stayed here in the past. It has been nice. Microwave. Here is the bathroom. Hello again. So it's the shower. So it's a typical stall shower, but it has a head there that you can move. Toiletries. What is up here? Oh, that's nice. So let me just put my shoes back on. I'm really tired. And I'm going to go show you some of the other amenities. So hold on. There's also chilled, purified water, some reusable water bottles in here. Okay, so I'm in for the night. So let me just unpack things and I'll show you what I got today. I got a lot of food, actually. As is usual for my hauls for any of my trips here, this is what I got as Hammond's. So that was a pretzel factory. It was very good. There was another one that we wanted to go to, but it was a little bit further away and we wouldn't have been able to make our train time. By that I mean the tourist train. So we went to Hammond's instead. So I got Parmesan peppercorn, sweet and spicy, and the honey mustard flavored pieces here. They had a ton of other options as well. And then I also got this little baby thing of dipping mustard. The sell by date or whatever is good for quite a while. I just thought it was super cute and I love mustard, so I figured I would pick up some dipping mustard and things like that. I did grab a brochure to show you some info about Hammond's. So these pretzels were actually pretty good. Just so you know that my friend was also like surprised, but they're not soft pretzels, they're hard pretzels. But this is the info. They are sold at other places. She was surprised and I was surprised to see it as some other concessions on the train ride. But this is a little bit of the history, how they're made. And you can make some orders online or via fax and phone if you have a fax machine handy. And this is the info here. So these are huge buckets. They're like, my friend says that they're like laundry detergent size, but I don't know. I don't buy my laundry detergent in that size bucket, but they were huge. I would say they're basically like when you, this is very, when you buy sealant for like the driveway and stuff, it's like one of those sizes in my opinion. I haven't bought that either, so I don't know if that's a good apt description, but yeah, they're huge. Finally, we went to Swedish, as you saw in Lancaster. So these were some of the items. By that I mean all the items I picked up. Basically, I just wanted a refill of all my Swedish licorice. As you know, that's one of my favorites. So I got this. It's a 1/2 pound variety pack. So basically I bought it because it looks like there's some salty ones in here. I actually didn't realize it, but they also had some wrapped ones. So that's quite exciting. And then here is a 2-pack of the cactus, and then this one is the salvie. So this one is like violet flavored. And then this one is kind of more of an intense salt licorice flavor, if that makes sense. And then I also got my favorite, not my favorite, I also got some salt licorice as well. We also went to the printmaking museum and they had some samples here and I liked a couple of them. So I grabbed a couple. They were free to take. So I have this one here and this one. I liked the font and it also is like on thicker paper. I don't know how to describe it. But this one is really nice too. It's a textured sort of, it feels more like cloth paper, and that one was nice too. Nice quote from Benjamin Franklin. I realize now that I never showed you the closet. So this is the closet here. There is a luggage stand. My brain is not functioning. There's an iron in here, some clothes hangers, and a mirror. One struggle. My height is a little bit short, so I'm like on my tippy toes and I can barely reach it. So I have to close it, hopefully. Oh, okay, I think I got it. I can like barely reach it. Oh man, I can't get it back. Okay, it's as good as it's gonna get, I guess. Okay, so I'm obviously in my hotel room. It was a very eventful day and I'm pooped, basically. So it's about 10 o'clock and my friend and I just finished dinner. We went to this restaurant called, I'm gonna mess up the name, hold on, something Cattle. Chubby Cattle? Chubby Cow? Something like that. Chubby Cattle, that's the name. So its claim to fame is that it actually has a conveyor belt hot pot restaurant. So back in the day, like, back in 2019, like almost to the day, I got an email from their PR team inviting me to go there for dinner. And basically, since I didn't live in Philly at the time and I still don't live in Philly, I wasn't able to go. But they basically opened, and they wanted me to feature them on my Instagram. So that's a little insight into like this channel here on YouTube is obviously brand new, but in terms of like Instagram, I've been around for a while. But yeah, so the restaurant was opening in 2019 and still open now, so I mean it's been doing pretty okay, I guess, since there was the pandemic and everything in between. So I am getting my skincare out, sorry if it's too loud. But my friend and I met up in Wilmington, Delaware at about 7 a.m. My train got in like right on time at like 7:08, I believe, and met up, and we were able to go to Lancaster basically right away. So Lancaster is a very interesting city. I'm going to actually start with this toner. Lancaster is a very interesting city, so it's a lot different than I thought it was. So we spent the morning and afternoon in Lancaster. So we first started out, it was like pouring rain. I tried to do it on the train, but every time it started lightning, I couldn't get the filming started, obviously. So anyway, it was storming for like basically until about 11 a.m. So like for the first 4 hours that we were together. So we went to a cafe that she really liked. So we went there. She had been there in the past to take some latte class, I think she said, and basically their coffee was really nice. By the end it got a little bit bitter, to be honest, but it's probably just me. But yeah, their croissants were also interesting. I kind of feel like there were croissants. They didn't look like croissants to me. They looked more like, there's this bread in Korea called salt bread these days. It was kind of like denser, and it's not flaky and not buttery, so I feel like that was what that was. It wasn't really a croissant in my opinion, but I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not French or anything. So we went there, and then we went next door. She got these things called stroopies, which are like stroopwafels, like the Dutch thing. They were fresh out of the oven though, so if you do go, make sure to ask if they have any fresh out of the oven, because my friend was able to get some fresh ones. They're about $2 each, I believe. They had some specialty flavors, but my friend had tried most of the flavors, and she said that she actually enjoyed the originals more than the specialty or premium flavors. So after that, we went to the bookstore next door, which is actually a library, and supporting the library there. I almost bought a couple of books, but I just like didn't want to carry them around in the rain. I don't know if it was a worker or a volunteer who had actually started these initiatives where they had chosen some like book covers or like illustrations that were in books that were kind of destroyed and were not able to be sold, and they had changed them into buttons. It was quite cute. It was like button for a buck, and the worker was basically like, yeah, I chose a bunch of ones with like faces in it, like really funny things to put in there. Maybe like people see something funny in there and they choose them and wear them around. So I almost bought one for Big Bird, because Big Bird was like looking really sassy and I thought it was hilarious, but I decided not to buy it because like what would I do with it? So the other thing is they also had some stickers available for purchase, 50 cents each, and the worker slash volunteer told a great anecdote that at other boutiques in the city they're selling the same stickers. I think she said that was $3 at the other boutiques, but they were selling it for 50 cents at the bookstore in the library. So go to Juliana Bookstore if you're interested in stickers, because they will definitely hook you up. There were plenty of other books and things, including some brand new titles that I had only just recently read, including like The Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates, a couple of other books and things like that. They even had one North Korean book that I haven't read yet, which is kind of amazing to me because I thought I had read all of the possible North Korean books in existence, but there was one that I hadn't read yet. But again, I didn't want to carry it around with me all day. And then we actually met this man who was very funny. He was like, yeah, so like my job is like I give tours and it's like my expertise is James Buchanan. He was like, it's a tough sell. He's like kind of down there in the ranks in terms of interested presidents and things like that, which I thought was hilarious. So he told a really interesting anecdote about the fact that Buchanan was a bachelor, so there wasn't like the president's wife. His niece or cousin, I can't remember, he's obviously more talented at these speeches than I am, was actually brought into the White House to host the functions and things. So that's where the terminology First Lady came from. So I thought that was interesting. And if you're interested, James Buchanan is buried in the area. So if you wanted to check him out, I guess his burial tomb or whatever. Check him out. It's around there somewhere. We actually stopped in Swedish, which is a super cute name. They had really great branding. They are actually available online if you go to sweetishcandy.com, SWEETISHCANDY.com, and they do have shipping available. But they have a bunch of Swedish, a couple of Norwegian, and some Finnish candies. I don't know about Danish, but I had sent my Norwegian friend some photos, and she told an anecdote about some of the sodas. They do have the sodas on sale online as well, but a lot of candies and chips and things like that, including some dips. I was kind of interested in buying some of the dip powder, but I was like, no, I have to rein it in because I know I have no self-control for dips. So the place we went was called Building Character. So in the visitor bureau, they had called it like Live Etsy, which is kind of apt actually. So they had a bunch of vintage sellers. They also had a lot of homemade goods, that sort of thing, available for purchase there, including some like flea market sort of style items. So we walked around there. The candles, oh my gosh, I had to rein it in because again, I didn't want to carry it, but if I had lived closer, I would totally have bought many of those candles. I don't know how they got the scents so accurate. They were super accurate. Like I could almost taste what the smell was. Yeah, so it's called the Heritage Press Museum in the back. And actually they have some live demos of printing or press, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. I've been up since like 3 a.m. and it's very late for me. So the person who was working there was super funny too, and he was very knowledgeable, obviously. So I think he's like the demonstrator, but he was preparing the press for making some trivets. So they were actually going to press these prints on the back of the cork to go on the bottom of the trivet. Very interesting. So we went there and we looked around. It was quite fascinating kind of hearing about the stories about how they got all of the different print press. And then we walked across the street. So I had been eyeing this place. I had a couple of places marked that we didn't go to, obviously, just because a lot of things open at like 10 a.m. and they closed at 4, so it's kind of hard to hit places. Cabalar Meat Co. So I had marked this place because it had really high ratings and it sounded really good. So basically it's kind of new, it seems like, but really popular, and I can understand why. But it has a whole animal butcher and it serves burgers, melts, and sandwiches. So we both ended up getting burgers. We should have probably upgraded one of us to fries, but we both got chips. So with the order, you can either choose chips, salad, or upgrade to fries, even if you order them as the upgrade are in beef fallow. So I thought that would have been interesting, but I didn't really feel like eating fries. I was feeling a little bit heavy already. So anyway, my friend and I ordered beef, and we both haven't had like beef or meat in a while, so it was kind of a treat for us. In the back of the restaurant, actually, they also have this brewery called the Mad Chef Brewery, and they had a bunch of beers available, but again, I didn't really feel like drinking beer for lunch, but it did look nice. I was kind of jealous of the people who could handle that, but it was just like a little bit too much. But I got the barbecue bacon burger. I ended up having to use a knife and fork, but that's just a personal problem. I don't like touching my food. And my friend got the dry aged burger, and she said that was delicious. After lunch, we actually decided to head out of Lancaster and kind of go on our day because we had, my friend had surprised me with tickets to the railroad today for my birthday. So I had found this railroad place and I thought it was kind of cute and kitschy, and she had never heard of it. So we decided to go, and she surprised me with tickets, which was really nice. She treated me way too much today. The Strasburg Railroad, so that one was kind of funny. So it is like a 45-minute ride back and like total back and forth, and it was quite educational. Actually, I learned a lot about Pennsylvania, and the most interesting thing that I think I learned was that they actually don't irrigate, so it's like self-irrigating, so I thought that was interesting. The other thing is that they do have steam locomotives, so I learned about that as well. I don't know that much about trains. I kind of was telling my friend, like, I wish that I had something that I was passionate about, like about how train people are very passionate about trains. I don't have that. But yeah, it was quite interesting. So they have multiple different types of cars you can choose from. So my friend had actually selected the one where we don't have to sit facing each other on a love seat the entire ride, which would have been very romantic, I guess. But we had gotten the ones where we have like the spinning armchairs. It was really interesting. So I would say that if you go into the seats when you go there, on the way there you go, you know, like if you're facing forward to the front of the locomotive. If you want to have the best view, I would say probably the right side of the train is the best one, just because my friend was saying she sat on the left side, and the left side was basically, when she left, I had like beautiful farmland, and she had like a very scary Thomas the Tank Engine in the dark looking at her. But yeah, we decided to come back to Philly. By back, I mean come to Philly. We hadn't been to Philly yet. And then I had made an order for Federal Donuts to Good to Go. And then after that, we went to the Chubby Cattle, and then we ate our fill. I don't know how much it ended up being, but it was kind of pricey actually. And we were like there like right at the end of dinner rush, but kind of not. We got there at like 7-ish, and there weren't that many people there. Usually hot pot restaurants, in my experience, have been like all you can eat, basically. And vegetables are like, you can eat a ton. And yeah, the vegetables were like mainly cabbage and spinach, I think. And it was good. They were fresh. There weren't any like slimy pieces, but it was also like $15 gets you a lot of stuff if you went to the grocery store. So I kind of thought you would have gotten more. So yeah, anyway, now I'm back in my hotel. I have stayed here in the past. In the past, they have also had like snacks and happy hour for free. So I'm kind of interested to see if they kind of brought that back post-pandemic. The last time I was here, I think was in 2018 or 2019. I've stayed here a couple of times. It's been nice. I do like the fact that they have the chilled water, purified water on each floor. And, but I am going to go to bed now because now it is 10:30, I don't know. But yeah, I've been talking to you for a long time to catch up. But anyway, I'm going to sign out now, and I'm going to start tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be another day of vacation here in Philadelphia. It is supposed to be very hot, so we'll see what I get up to with my friend. So I'll talk to you then. Bye.